Mono Supervisor Bing Hunt laid out the ground rules at Tuesday's board meeting in Bridgeport with Mammoth Mountain CEO Rusty Gregory and a room full of people from June Lake. Hunt said officials wanted to hear about the reopening of June Mountain, but also about the revitalization of the hard-hit community. Hunt also said there should be no, quote, backstabbing or tomato throwing. He said, "I want civility in the boardroom." Well, it is a contentious issue for sure, the closure of June Mountain. The June Lake crowd was wounded by Gregory's decision to close the ski area last year, but they did speak calmly and made it clear that the CEO had to gain their trust by his actions. Gregory said he realized what he did, quote, created a lot of hardship and a lot of bad feelings. He said he was there at the board meeting to be accountable. Throughout the 3-hour session, Gregory said he knows he is not well liked in June Lake. He said he intends to build trust through his actions. He started with what he called a 3-point plan. First, he will open June Mountain this summer when crews will begin to prepare the ski area for winter operation. And this summer, they will conduct 4 weddings and a triathlon at June Mountain. Second, Gregory will focus on snowmaking and a new lift for J1 or Chair 1. Third, he will focus on community development. He said the town needs 1,000 additional hotel rooms to make everything work right. The CEO said his plans do include test drilling for snowmaking water this summer at June Mountain, and in January of 2014 he will update the June Mountain master plan with hopes to get construction approvals from the Forest Service for the new lift and snowmaking. Gregory said construction would start in the summer of 2015 with plans to operate the new lift and snowmaking the winter of 2015-2016. Later, Forest Service Ranger Sarah Tomsky said it could realistically take 2 years for bureaucratic approvals for the replacement of Chair 1 at June Mountain. Gregory retraced the financial downturn and problems with lenders that led to the closure of June Mountain, which was losing $1.5 million. He spoke about the major ups and downs of Mammoth and June Mountains depending on weather and finances. Gregory said he would reposition the June Mountain Resort by making it an entry-level family ski area with a Learn to Ski family package. He also made it clear Mammoth Mountain no longer has an interest in buying the rodeo grounds for development in June Lake. Alice Suzinski from the Committee for a Viable June Mountain spoke of opposition to Mammoth's land trade to acquire property at the main lodge for hotel development. June Lake, some there have been using that as leverage to try to make Rusty do what they want. Suzinski said, "You're going to spend $600 million at Mammoth Mountain while June Lake goes unimproved." She suggested a mediation between Gregory and the community over long-term viability. She said, quote, "We suggest the Mono supervisors not support the land exchange until our agenda is addressed." To those who questioned his sincerity, Gregory said, "I know I'm not well liked, and trust comes from action, not words." Connie Black, owner of the Double Eagle Resort in June Lake, asked Gregory if there were some small measures he could take this summer to help build trust. She said no major improvements until 2015-2016 doesn't feel very good. Gregory said, "Tell me what you want. I know there is animosity. I am not saying you have to love me. Just tell me." She said some type of small improvements to rebuild trust. Gregory said, "I have a very thin skin. I do care how people feel about me. I don't want to just do token things." Black indicated she would bring up items later. At that point, Gregory asked Carl Williams and Ron Cohen from the mountain to hold up a banner that displayed June Mountain along with Mammoth Mountain as services for MVP holders. So proving that he's serious about what he wants to do. He said he would share his June Mountain operations plan with the community in May or later. He said the fact that the community organized major events last winter and showed commitment did cause him to go forward with plans for June Mountain. Well, at the end of 3 hours, Supervisor Tim Alpers said he plans to agendize more on June Mountain next week if there is new information. After that, Alpers said he will offer a policy recommendation to the Mono board. He said, quote, "Let's get our new beginning going." And elsewhere in the eastern Sierra, day-long severe winds filled the area with dust and hazards for high-profile vehicles, mostly Monday and Tuesday, and with health advisories. From Bishop through Keeler, the Air Pollution Control District issued Stage 2 health advisories. Our own weather forecaster, Dennis Mattinson, said that 80 micrograms of particulate matter per cubic meter is very unhealthy. That's 80. He said during the wind events, Independence registered 634, Lone Pine 243, southeast of Lone Pine near the Owens River 1,632 micrograms per cubic meter. APCD Director Ted Shady said the source of dust were many areas on the east side of the Owens Valley. He said the Stage 2 health advisory for Bishop was likely based on particulate readings at the White Mountain Research Site. He believed that the site's in Laws and possibly tilled alfalfa fields were causing the dust. Dust was blown by the strong winds on both sides of Independence, obscuring the Sierra and the Inyo Mountains at times. Shady said that in southern Inyo, dust was blowing from the Keeler Dunes and from some of the lake bed. The APCD called conditions extreme particulate pollution levels, and the advisory encouraged people to stay indoors and to avoid strenuous outdoor activities in the dust. And the advisory also warned that children, the elderly, people with heart or lung problems, or people currently ill should stay inside and avoid that dust. There was another Stage 1 health advisory for Wednesday, and that too coming from the APCD, mostly in the Keeler area. Ted Shady also noted that the haze in the area over the weekend was apparently not the result of the Gobi Desert in Asia, as it had been a couple of weeks ago. Shady said high west winds through Smith Valley and through a burned area on the east side of Mono Lake apparently blew dust into many parts of Mono and Inyo and then went towards Arizona. And in Mammoth Lakes, the Mammoth Lakes Housing Incorporated Board appointed an executive director to the Mammoth Lakes Housing. Of course, the previous executive director, Pam Hennerty, had resigned to go to work as deputy CAO in Inyo County. Well, the Housing Board announced that they have appointed current or previous deputy director Jennifer Halferty to serve as the executive director for Mammoth Lakes Housing, which does help people with low and moderate income housing in both Inyo and Mono counties. Ms. Halferty has been with the nonprofit Workforce Housing Organization for 7 years. Before that, she worked 4 years in the administration department of the Mono County Library. And according to Kirk Stapp, the board president, he said, "The board and I are highly confident in Jennifer's ability to step into this role, and we are thrilled she has accepted this important position." He said Jennifer Halferty brings a depth of historical knowledge and experience in nonprofits, housing, finance, and policy. We'll be right back with more.